My name is Tiffany Brunson, and what led me to enroll my kids in Cotillion is Mrs. Walsh. She sent me a very nice invitation, and at the moment I didn't really know a lot about Cotillion, but she had a contact number on there and I called her. And once she told me what the program was about, she had me at teaching your kids how to be respectful, how to have manners, how to interact with others, building their confidence, helping them to grow. And at that point, I knew that this was something that I wanted to enroll my kids in. My kids have grown a lot through Cotillion. Just to be clear, I have 3 children. Each of them is extremely different. My oldest is the type of kid who is extremely confident when speaking with people he knows. But I noticed that when speaking with those that he wasn't familiar with, particularly adults, he wasn't as confident as I wanted him to be. Through Cotillion, he has grown tremendously. In fact, I asked him the question, what do you think you learned most in Cotillion and what helped you most? And he said, Mom, I grew up. I learned how to talk to people confidently. He said, when I interviewed for college, when I interviewed for Boys State, when I interviewed for the Naval Academy in particular, there was nothing that they asked me that I did not feel good about. He said, I was able to look them in the eye and tell them things. I was able to shake their hands and look at them and out of respect, but also I felt like I belong here. And those are things that I can't put a price on. It was something that was well worth our time and effort. I can tell you with my middle kid, it has really shown up a lot, the skills that he has developed in Cotillion. We went to lunch and the waiters were amazed that he ran to get my chair, to pull my chair out, to allow me to sit down. He did not start eating until he and I both had our food. And just little things like that make me realize, you know, sometimes even at home, my husband and I forget little things like that. But the fact that it was being constantly instilled in him at Cotillion, now I know, I feel very comfortable. When I send him out on his first date, I feel very comfortable that that young lady's parents will know she's going out with a gentleman who's going to respect her and treat her as she deserves to be treated. I would tell any parent who asked me about Cotillion, this is something you absolutely need to do. The one thing that scares me slightly about society is that we've forgotten a lot of the things that have gotten us to where we are today. And kids don't know anything. My children don't even know how to use a home phone, for example, because that's obsolete. Manners never become obsolete. Treating people with respect never becomes obsolete. Setting yourself apart from others because you're saying and doing the right things, that never becomes obsolete. So for me, if this is something that you've been thinking about, or maybe you have not been thinking about, you have nothing to lose by enrolling your kids in a program that's going to help them develop and grow into the young men and women that you would like to see them become. And I am confident that this is the type of program that you need to be in. I would tell any parent who is unsure about joining Cotillion that this is something that you absolutely should do. And in the world today where most things are just not the way that they used to be when I grew up or when we grew up, it is so important to make sure that our kids understand the importance of things like manners, respect. I mean, my children don't even remember having a home phone because it's become obsolete. But manners never become obsolete. Treating people with dignity and respect, it never becomes obsolete. And these are things that my kids have been able to grow and watch and learn and develop under Ms. Walsh's leadership. I would tell any parent that if you're unsure, if you're tentative, if you're thinking about it, that this is absolutely something that you should enroll your kids in. You cannot lose by putting your kids in a program that's going to help them develop those fundamental skills. Ms. Walsh has had such a profound impact on me and my family. She has taken my children under her wings and treated them as if they were her own. I remember vividly, she spent time working with my oldest to make sure that he was prepared and confident before he did his Boys State interview. When he was interviewing for the Naval Academy, she talked to him about that and told him different things about what you should wear, how early to get there, things that you should remember to include even if not asked. She calls me now to check in on my family. My middle son adores her because she shows them how much she cares about them by the things that she teaches them. My daughter, she always writes handwritten notes now, because Ms. Walsh told her this is a very good skill set to have. It makes my heart smile because those are the little things that we teach at home. But oftentimes kids think that maybe my parents don't know what they're talking about. The fact that it's being instilled and repeated at Cotillion has made a world of difference in our lives.